How tight is this group of seniors, like the guys in your class that have been here, especially on the defensive players that have been around for that long? Is it a pretty close group? Or?
Yeah, I mean, when you've been around guys for, it's different because like I came from a small town, so the guys I played with in high school, I know my whole life, and it's kind of different when you come to college and you play with guys you just met them 3 weeks earlier, and now you're playing a game with them. So that was, but now as time has gone on, you really know the guys in the locker room, and we're a lot closer. So that's really a good feeling, and kind of helps you play for the guy next to you a little more and have a little more of an edge.
How satisfying is it, I guess, and how important were those games as a true freshman starting on the field when you have a big game like this on Saturday?
Oh, I mean, I don't know how much that affects anything. It's more of just kind of how far we've come. Like Coach Martin had talked about how far we've come. That's kind of what you think about from when we all started as freshmen to where we are now.
South Alabama, they started two quarterbacks this year. They throw the ball a lot. So we kind of don't know who's going to start understanding for them on Saturday. How difficult is it for you guys as a defense to prepare for two different quarterbacks?
They're both, really good athletes. They both can throw the ball. So their offense doesn't change much with who's at quarterback. They've just kind of given both of those guys a lot of reps. They're both really talented, and they've had a lot of injury at running back. So they've kind of turned more to a pass-heavy team. But I think it'll be big for us to force them to be a passing team. They still try to run the ball a little bit. If we can kind of do what we did last Saturday and get them in third and long and stuff, then we can kind of pressure them. Our defensive line just came off probably their best game of the year, so getting them in those situations again will be huge because they have some talented receivers and things like that. So it'll be a good challenge.
Was there ever a time in your 4 years where you realized, like you guys might have a chance someday? Maybe it came later than you would have wanted, but you would have a chance to do what you had a chance to do on Saturday. Like, was there a time where it clicked that you were going to be able to fulfill those goals?
I don't know if there was a time that it clicked. It was always kind of, we think back to sophomore year, we had that rough start, and then we won 3 in a row, Sun Belt games in a row, and then last year we were just up and down. So the biggest thing was finding consistency. I think we always knew that we could play with anybody, but it was just doing it on a weekly basis, and that's been the biggest thing this year. We haven't really had, maybe Lafayette, but besides that, we haven't had, games like last year where we had Idaho where we just didn't play well at all. So we've been very consistent. I think that's been important, and that's kind of been who we are, just showing up every week and bringing our own energy and excitement to games, and that's been big for us. We always had the talent. It's just getting it on a consistent level. There's just not a lot of room for error in a 12-game season. When you play 2 money games and all that type of stuff, you got to show up every week, and you can't let any game slip through your hands. So we put ourselves in a position here because we've been a more consistent football team.
How is it you've been able to get to that consistency as a team?
I think it started back last offseason in January. That's what we've heard since January is, have a chip on our shoulder, no excuses. If you don't win, it's on us. It's not on any coaches. It's on the players. We're the ones playing on Saturdays. So, and then it was just emphasis to be more consistent every day. And I think just kind of that's who we became over time.
Excuse me, if I may, just getting better work habits every day?
Yeah, just focusing on it more and kind of valuing and respecting each day and each rep a little bit more. Maybe that helps with having a little more older guys and not as much youth. Maybe that plays a role. But whatever it is, we found a way this year to be a lot more consistent through every game.
This is the opposite of Jason's question, but was there ever a time where you went home after a game and you didn't think that you'd be able to turn things around?
Oh, no, as a competitor, you can't really ever think that. Yeah, you're disappointed after some games, and we've had that this year, When you think back on the year, how close we were in a lot of these games with Troy and App State and Ark State. Just disappointment after those games. Like, man, we're right there. Like, what aren't we doing right? But, you just stay the path. You just keep working and come out and compete every day and then see if we can't, get a win each week, and it kind of just builds on itself.
What's the most impressive thing to you as a defense? Like Coach said, the sacks record,
Mm-hmm.
you're having a great year. I think your guys are turning the ball over maybe more than you did last year. Those are all kind of numbers that I look at.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think we've been really good on third downs. I think we're first in the conference in third down percentage. We're first in the conference in sacks. And when you look at it, those are the two things that have really helped us be a better defense this year. You would like to be better against the run. You know, we've had our ups and downs, and so hopefully, you know, we can keep. You know, we're coming off a good week against the rush, and hopefully we can keep that moving forward. But we have turned the ball over well. That's kind of who we are, and that's who we've been. I think my whole career here. That's one thing we've always done well is we have always forced turnovers. So, but mainly the third down. We've been getting off the field on third down, and we've been getting sacks and pressures and turnovers, and those are the three big things. So that's gonna be a huge thing this Saturday. We gotta get some turnovers. That's one thing their defense has done well in the games where they've won against Troy and Ark State. I think they had 6 turnovers against Arkansas State. So as a defense, one thing we've been talking about is we got to outplay their team's defense. So if they want to go out and they force turnovers, they force 3 on our offense, we got to force 4. You know, however well their defense plays, it's big for us to outplay their defense. And that's kind of a mindset I think you have to have is that's you're not really you're competing against their offense, but at the end of the day, you got to out-compete their defense too.
Did you the front line and everything? How much? I feel like no disrespect to Louis and JV because you're younger guys, but I think you had a lot to do with that playing in the middle. Is that something that maybe we could see for the rest of the season?
You know, that's not up to me, but we're just
How did you feel comfortable?
yeah. I'll get on the field any way I can. I thought that you know Leon T Hanks. You know, it's great having. Leon brings a lot of speed to the field, and our front played well. We were just played well. That's just what it comes down to. That'll be what it comes down to Saturday too. Is just making plays. That's what we did a lot on Saturday. We just made a lot of plays. So that'll be the same thing.